Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in October 2019. And the 6 came up because I saw this was the 6 of Wands. So, two 6 of Wands and the Empress. Oh, Aquarius, marching towards an Empress, secondary major arcana for Taurus or Libra. Maybe you're dealing with one of those signs. You don't have to be. But there seems to be like this approach to a particular person of power or status, and it's with good intentions, or at least you might have a certain, like, this might be a party coming towards this person, maybe like a surprise party or a celebration or something like that. But it feels mostly positive. But, you know, it's just a general flip out in the pre-shuffle here, so it's not part of your main reading. So I don't know if that applies to you. If it does, congratulations. If it doesn't, let's just move on. All right, Aquarius, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Aquarius, if you were with me for the end of September readings, and maybe you may have spied at some of my earlier October readings, you might notice I am back home. I was on vacation for about a week and a half, visiting my sister. It was a lovely time. Relaxation, relaxation, relaxation. That was my goal, and that's what I got, and it felt amazing. So anyway, I'm back home now, doing getting back to the regularly scheduled programming, and so here we are. Anyway, I hope everything in your life is going just as well as mine, if not better, because who would wish ill will on anybody, especially a stranger? Like, why do I care if your life is going badly? Why would I wish that on somebody? Anyway, I don't know why I'm rambling to you about that. Let's get on with it. Aquarius, I have shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. There will be a timestamp in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have a question before you place an order, you can email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can, okay? All right, let's get into it. Please show me Aquarius's outcome in October 2019. Aquarius outcome in October 2019. Please show me. Okay. It was meant to be. We'll be talking about that towards the end, but just a preview. That's what's going to come up at the end, guys. We just talked about it, so I guess it was meant to be here. And maybe the context will be the same. Maybe the context will be different. We'll figure it out. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right, let's get into it. Please show me where Aquarius is in October 2019. Please show me Aquarius in October 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. We got it. Wow. No, not even really a wow, but you were kind of in 2 other positions, but this one came out most strongly, so this is where we start. Aquarius, coming into October, you come in with the Page of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So here you are in your own home suit. You're on your own home turf. Yeah, they screamed the word page at me, and I'm like, yeah, it is a Page of Swords, but they're drawing my eye to the ink blotter, or the ink well right there, the golden ink well, where that character would be dipping their quill, right? So I feel like you're hard at work studying something. Maybe you're a student, or you're enrolling in courses, or, you know, you might be picking up a hobby. Maybe you're studying a recipe, or you're planning to create something, so you're kind of getting a game plan together, doing an outline, something like that. But I'm really feeling more than, you know, I mean, that works for you guys if it works for you guys. But even more than that, you're studying a person? I feel, pardon me, I feel for you, Aquarius, there's someone of interest around you that you've known for a while. Not a long time, but a while. And you have, I don't want to say it's a deep interest. You have a very keen curiosity about them. You just, any bit of information that you can learn about them or from them. Maybe they're a mentor to you, to keep it in line with sort of like the studying and sort of being a student, right? So either you want to know about them specifically, or you want to know about something that they are well versed in, that they're an expert in, whatever. And so you're just like greedily, like, like eating up all the details of this person or the details of whatever they're instructing you in. You're doing it very diligently. The other part of this Page of Swords is that it can be kind of a spy card. Some of you are maybe lightly stalking this person. In this day and age, it's so easy to stalk people, like for real, like straight up, like know their every move. Isn't there like a show on Netflix about that, where somebody like, he like stalks a girl and like integrates himself into her life? I forget what the name of it is, but anyway, I don't think you're at that level. I don't think this is like fatal attraction stalking. I think this is generally when you guys are not in communication, you are researching the topic that they're instructing you in, or that, you know, maybe this is a professor that you're admiring and like, you're like, oh my God, I want to know more about Jane Eyre. And you're just like reading Wikipedia pages and all kinds of information on Jane Eyre, something like that, where you want to be on the same level with this person. So you think to either know details about them, or details and information about the things they're interested in, or the things that they teach in, will bring, maybe not bring you closer, but make you better matched mentally, particularly mentally with this person. If it's romantic, mentally would still apply, but I think you feel it's kind of weird, but it's within your capabilities as a fixed sign, where you desire to know the person as well as you know yourself. That's like super attractive to fixed signs. I'm sitting here thinking of the other fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, and none of them would pass this opportunity up either, to really know a person like you know yourself. If you know anything about tarot, or if you know anything about astrology, the other qualities, you have cardinals and you have mutables, right? They're less into it than the fixed signs. Let's be honest here. So you're very dedicated to educating yourself on a subject matter, on a person, on anything. Even like they're showing me one of my favorite movies from the 80s, Short Circuit. If you don't know it, Google it. If you know it, good for you. You're a cool person. Where it's about this robot that gains sentience, right? He gains like a soul essentially, but he's still a robot and he has skills that a robot has. So one of the things he loves is input, and he says that a lot throughout the movie. And like he reads books like super quick. Like that's kind of what you are. You're like Pac-Man when it comes to finding out tidbits about this person or information pertaining to, you know, something. It's just like you can't get enough of it. It's not super, I mean, if you're cross-watching this, or if you're an Aquarius with a conscience, you know, you might feel a little creeped out by this information, but I really don't feel it's coming from a creepy place. I think it's really coming from a place of, like, puzzling it out. Like, you're really trying to piece, like I said, you want to know this person or know the subject matter just as much as they do. And it's not like even like a single white female type of thing where you want to like steal their identity. Like maybe somewhere out in the billions of people in the world, there is like one crazy Aquarius who's trying to do this. But I don't think they would be watching my tarot reading. So I will acknowledge for the simple point of statistics that maybe there's like one or two that are actually thinking of doing something creepy with their new knowledge. But I think most of the Aquarians that are watching this are really wanting to become again, like, you just want to know them as much as you can. Friends, lovers, business partners, I don't care what they are to you. It's like, I need to know them in and out. Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe it's a protective thing. maybe you don't trust them. So the more you learn about them, the more you'll be able to see if you could actually trust them. You know what I mean? Like maybe in a dating situation, just this is just an example. Maybe in a dating situation, you've gone out on a couple of dates, you've talked with them a few times, you guys, text or, send Snapchats all day, whatever you're doing. And it feels, quote unquote, too good to be true. So you're like on Google, John Doe, Amy McFarland, whatever. You're just like Googling their name. You're like, okay, let me see police records. No arrests. Let me see this. None of this. It's just like you're trying to find dirt because it feels too good to be true. Something for some of you is about trust and how you can't believe your eyes. Like you're like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe what I'm seeing from this person. There is no way they're this cool or this like quote unquote normal, right? And the ironic thing is you begin to act abnormally to check if someone is normal. So there's a little bit of irony there for you, Aquarius. Now, as I've explained, it can go so many ways, but the point is, much like this pages, you're taking notes. Like some of you have like a little scratch pad note that you're writing details on, or you're putting it on your phone, or you're taking screenshots of like information you're finding out about this person. Like you're creating like a little folder, I used this word earlier in somebody's reading, a little dossier on this person, like a little profile on this person, because again, it's like you are very intrigued by them, and I feel you mostly like them, you respect them. In some cases, you're very interested in them in a romantic sense or whatever it is. You don't have any ill intent with what you're doing, but it could be viewed that way. So get ready. Like if someone finds out that you're doing this, they'll be like, what? You did what now? So be a little careful. Some people, I mean, most people probably would be like, you have documents? Like you did what? And you're like, yeah, I did this. So be careful with what you reveal, okay? Or what you save on your phone, okay? And I don't want to like aid and abet someone in a criminal activity. I don't know how illegal this activity is, so be careful. So don't point to me and be like, well, this anonymous pair of hands on the internet told me it was okay. No. Okay. What else is going on out here? So this is where we start. What else do we have? Right. So, oh wow. So what I see, and this is very rare that I do this. I see a very like overview of what's going on, like a bird's eye view here. There's a lot of like what could be, and then this is a lot of what really is or what it feels like it is to you, okay? So I'm just going to give you a precursor there. So I think we're going to start with what we believe it could be, what you're hoping for, what you are striving for, what you're planning for, whatever you're putting your intention into. So what you have is this Two of Pentacles thing. Now, Two of Pentacles traditionally does not look like this at all, okay? This actually favors more of a Two of Cups vibe, but I'm feeling that both the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles are here together, because what you see is you have these two characters seeing eye to eye with one another. They're very close, right? They're one half of a whole in terms of, that butterfly across the skulls, right? When they come together, they make this beautiful butterfly. Now, Aquarius, you're not usually so lovey-dovey, but some of you are like really swept away and feeling very amorous towards this person, even if it's a platonic love, even if it's, like I said, admiration. You're really like swept up in it. Again, I don't feel it's like kooky or creepy, but it could get to that point. Now, that seems very like, Two of Cups. But like I said, this is the Two of Pentacles. So I feel that you might work with this person. Pentacles can represent money and foundations and stability, right? So you might work with them, or go to school with them, or like I said, they're a mentor or a professor of you or something like that. You might share an interest or a hobby. Like maybe this is someone who you see at like a creative event that you like to go to. Like some people like dancing classes or like sports athletic classes or like fitness classes, sports athletic classes, fitness classes is more appropriate. And so there's something about you and this person sharing a physical distance or a physical location with one another. So again, work or something like that. Or it's, you know, and like that's like a pod that they're in. They're like in a pod, like two peas in a pod. Like you really feel super close to this person, whether that be actual proximity because you sit next to each other in class or because you visit them during office hours, some shit like that, where you work, you know, 2 cubicles over from one another, whatever. The Pentacles, to me, also is indicating you're trying to be smart about this. That's probably why it's coming out as the Two of Pentacles, even though the feeling is also partially Two of Cups, right? Aquarius, you're not wanting to get swept away too much with what you feel or what you're you don't want to get swept away with what you feel and or your interest in this person. You're trying to keep a lid on it. You're trying to keep yourself balanced and anchored in the ground, grounded, right? Cups, totally swept up in emotion. Swords, you get swept up in your mind. Wands, you might get swept up in the passion of something or just the idea of something. Not the fantasy, but sort of like the wanting to bring it into a fruition, but like to manifest it. Pentacles as a tarot suit is the most practical. It is the most measured. It is the most balanced in terms of let's be real here, quote unquote, let's be real here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not, you know, bring yourself out of the clouds, bring your head out of the clouds, that kind of energy. So you want this, maybe not you want this, but you are consciously putting an effort into reining yourself in. So based off of the dossier that you're creating, you do not tell them, and beyond a suggestion, I just know you wouldn't. You're not telling them, I'm researching you, or I'm researching the topic that you're instructing us in, and I'm going to get an A on that next test because I'm doing, you know, extra out of class studying up on this subject. You know, when they say, it's kind of weird, Aquarius, I'm not going to lie. When they tell you, I have a dog named Fifi, you're kind of like, I know. But you don't say that to them. You know. You have seen the Facebook page. You have seen the tag in the post that says, me and Fifi at the beach. So now you know they have a dog named Fifi. When they tell you that, would you like to see my dog? Oh, sure. You act like you've never seen that dog a day in your life. The way I'm saying it now, it will be creepy. Do not reveal this if you're doing this. And if you care to stop, maybe you should stop. Because I'm getting the feeling that if it comes out that you know this information about them, they're probably going to be a little weirded out. Okay, they're giving me a caveat. Some of them will be weirded out. The reasoning is because, unlike, like I said, when I first picked this card up, unlike the traditional Two of Pentacles, or that you see in the Rider-Waite deck, there's actually 2 figures here and not 1. So, and look how close these figures are. Like, some of you, this is what you imagine your relationship with this person to be like, or your connection with this person. In other cases, I can't even say like percentage-wise, it's like a mixed bag. In some cases, this feeling is reciprocated, and maybe this person, in some of your cases, only some, this person might be a little flattered or impressed or kind of taken back, but then also kind of been like, oh, you did, like, it's like that half shocked, half ooh la la, or oh my God, you're so cute. Like, it's weird. That, of course, will not be all of their responses. So tread lightly, you know, if you dare share that you know who Fifi is, okay? Oh, anything else with the Two of Pentacles? Right. So the Two of Pentacles also indicates making choices, like traditionally. In this, I mean, you do have choices to make. If you're going to share information about what you are studying in your off time, that's a choice. You have the choice to not continue to do that to, you know, cut it off because you now realize, I know the name of her dog or his dog or whoever's dog. I know about the trip that they went on last year to Myrtle Beach. Like, you might shock yourself or creep yourself out. Okay, so you have choice to no longer behave a certain way or to continue to behave a certain way or whatever. Traditionally, the Two of Pentacles usually is a choice between two. Now, meaning, or being caught between, like, what should I do next? Or sometimes two choices, but sometimes what should I do next? What should I do next? And I think that is basically fueling, or like this kind of circulates between the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. It goes back and forth. Like, what do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? Because again, Aquarius, it feels like for you, and by the way, this is a general, it can be flipped. This could be someone giving this energy, projecting this energy towards you. I'm not saying, you know, be weirded out by everybody that you meet, okay? But, you know, I could be saying you, Aquarius, but it's actually someone who's doing this towards you, okay? Just as a clarification. Now, the choice between two, or excuse me, what to do next, right, is really going back and forth between these two cards. It becomes priority. You're definitely going to eventually choose something, and you're going to put in work behind it. Okay? You're going to put in work behind it. Three of Pentacles. This is not third-party situation. I'm going to say that right now. If it is, you kind of already know that. And even if it is a quote-unquote third-party situation, it's not a romantic one. Like, even if you have an interest in this person romantically, I don't think it would get to a third-party situation of a romantic caliber. Just something about the romantic third party, not really. If it is a third party, I feel it's more of like a interference by work. Right, because if you work together, there's a chance that if you started a relationship with this person, that your bosses or your higher ups would disapprove. You know, some companies are really strict about that, or it becomes like office gossip and it becomes a little bit weird to, like, you know, navigate that space. And so then the energy of your collective workplace would then become the third party. Does that make sense? But in general, I'm not feeling third party. I'm really feeling this is you or them or whoever really is at the helm of this reading, really putting in some work, trying to make a collaboration happen. Romantically, business, you know, going into those office hours, being like, do you need a TA? Can I, you know, can I do some print? Like, you really just want to closely work with this person, be involved with them, whatever. And again, you know, this is very much, I mean, I think maybe later we might see where this is coming from, but maybe not. Because Aquarius, I think some of you are like shaking your heads like, hell no, this is not me. I would never do this. And fine, it's not you, it's somebody else. But there's like this desire to really cooperate with this person. Maybe because you're coming from a place previous in this exact relationship where there wasn't cooperation before, and now you're kind of trying to make up for it. Like, maybe before you weren't available. Like, maybe if this was like a school situation, you wanted to take this course with this professor, but last semester they were on sabbatical, and then the semester before that they weren't even teaching the course. So it's like, I've been waiting to work or to be in a class with this person. In terms of work at your job, maybe you're going to be put on a project with this person, or maybe, you know, you're the head of the project and you're like, hey, person of interest, do you think you would want to work with? There's something about you want to work with them or be close with them. I mean, I'm pretty much repeating myself, but in terms of Two of Pentacles to Three of Pentacles, that's progression. 2 to 3, right? You know, steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, that's progression. So you want to build something with them. In terms of business and school, that makes sense. You know, if I build a relationship with my professor, maybe they would be a wonderful reference for me once I graduate. That makes sense. Maybe in terms of work, I'm creative. My person of interest is super creative. If we go in on this project together and we do well, the bosses will be impressed. that'll lead to this, that, and the other. Like you get something out of it in terms of business or school. You get something practical, pentacles, out of it. Opportunities, maybe more money, maybe, you know, at your job, maybe they give out prizes for people who show initiatives, whatever. There's something that you can obtain that is of value in those two realms. If this is romantic, I don't want to say you want to build a future together, because these are all low cards. The page, that's the lowest of the court cards. The 2 and the 3, those are pretty low in terms of the number scale, right? So this thing is just getting started. You don't know them well enough to say, oh my God, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Or they don't know you that way, right? But there's this, you want to see the potential. Yes, pick it up. You want to see the potential, right? Because look what he's doing. He's watering these 3 plants. But look, one is super small, one's kind of somewhat grown, and the other is like really sprouting, the one that's behind him. So you're really interested to see, the more I spend time with this person, the more we get to know each other, the more we grow a relationship together, what type am I going to have? Am I going to have a relationship, or are we going to have a relationship together that is, you know, able to grow and sprout leaves and bloom like the one that's behind him? Or is it going to be kind of moderate, kind of middle ground? Or is it just going to be like this little turd of a thing, the one that he's watering in the front of him, right? So your interest is building. Maybe that's why you're doing this research. Maybe that's research. I'm calling it research. I'm going to put it in quotes, research. I called it stalking earlier. Now I'm calling it research. I will not be an accomplice, Aquarius. Now, anyway, maybe that's why you're doing all this, you know, research into this person. Because, okay, if you find out through their social media that they're kind of religious, or they come from a religious background. This is just an example. And you're not religious at all. Your family is like pagan or something like that, or non-religious, but this person is like a devout, or comes from a family of devout religious people. You're thinking, you know, if I were to get involved with this person, how would their in-laws feel about me? So you're questioning it. That's why I'm calling it research, because you're like analyzing the things that you're thinking about. Now, mind you, when you do that, number one, aside from it being kind of creepy, I guess 1.2 is that you are filling in the blanks without any full knowledge of how that person interacts with their family in terms of faith, religion, okay? Just because you see some pictures outside of a church on Easter Sunday from earlier this year in 2019 doesn't mean that this person goes to church every week. That could be, I'm just trying to give you an example of everything you're getting on your own, Aquarius. This information that you're gathering on your own is very lopsided. It doesn't have full context because it wasn't offered to you. The information wasn't given to you. So you are assuming things about this person based on what you are able to observe across their social media or whatever else you're doing, you know what I mean? Please don't be a creep. Like, I really don't feel you are, but there's like this slow anxiety that's building up in me. Could be from you, could be from them, but it feels like, don't ruin this, or don't go too far with this. Like I said here with the 2 of Pentacles, if you can put a stop to it, if you can just like stop researching, stalking, spying on, whatever, if you can stop it, I mean, you can always choose to. So if you want, just stop it. Because, I mean, what, and that's the other thing. Okay. They want me to say that. Most of you are in contact with this person like on a regular basis. And they say most of you because, you know, in work, sometimes it's just like a casual relationship. You only talk to each other during work. Or if it's like the professor or the mentor, it's like you only really see each other like 3 or 4 times a week. And like they go home, you go home. Like you don't have any outside interactions with this person. So there's a potential for you to mess that up with all this spying that you're doing. So stop it. Now, you want to evaluate or you are evaluating. I'm not saying you want to. You are evaluating in your mind, based on everything that you have gathered, the data that you've gathered on your own, and in combination with the things that they tell you. Because again, some of you, this is a trust issue thing. So you're like doing your homework, quote unquote, doing your homework, doing your research, because you don't want to risk things going poorly for you. That's more for the romantic people. A little bit for the work situation as well. Now, I feel that based on what you are able to glean from your information gathering, let's call it that, you feel pretty good about this person. Your doubts, your fears, your issues about can I trust them are pretty much quieted. Everything's quiet. If it's not completely gone away, it's like, there's nothing. I like, you're scrolling through their Facebook, you're looking at, their Instagram. You're just like, there's nothing here that screams to you, don't trust this person, or screams to you, this person is inauthentic, or this person is whatever. Whatever you're hoping to find, you're not finding it. And so that gives you this. Major Arcana, the Sun card, secondary Major Arcana for Leo. So you might be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. This Sun, this hopefulness, this optimism, this, feeling good about your chances to work with this person or date this person, whatever your situation is. You feel good about your chances. And I'm not really, based on because again, this is like sort of what could be, these 4 cards together. I don't feel that you should, not that you should, but I don't see any reason to be dissuaded. Other than maybe, okay, they got me. I was like, what's the hold up here? So the Sun is about happiness, optimism, intense joy, intense pleasure, a reason to smile, right? To constantly have a smile on your face. That all sounds beautiful. However, they remind me that the Sun is sort of it can be skewed. Optimism and positivity are not equated with yes or equated with assuredness. You can be optimistic all you like, but if something else in life says you're not due for whatever you're hoping for, you're not going to get it. Now, additional to that, the position of the Sun card comes next to the Page of Swords and comes right below that 3 of Pentacles, where we have these 2 solo figures. So left to your own devices, Aquarius, this optimism could turn into a yes in your mind. Which, given that we're talking about having some type of connection with another person, negates their ability to choose you in return, or choose to engage in some type of relationship or connection with you in response, or just on the same level. Now, I will remind you, that's not to shut you all down, I will remind you, some of you, this person sees you the same way. Okay? That's for some. But it's not for all. So, as much as this is very positive, it's often labeled as the most positive card in the deck, I feel that due to the positioning, there could be a slight chance, or a moderate chance, that this is a bit of a grandiose. Okay? It's a bit bigger, or it's not egotistical, because I don't think it's about, because I'm Aquarius, I'm going to succeed. That's not what this is. This is not about being conceited or arrogant. But it is an ego trip in the sense of you might just be hyping yourself up for something that might not ever happen or might not ever get off the ground. Because again, the 3 of Pentacles, there's 3 different plants that this guy is tending to. One is growing up healthy and strong, one is in the middle, it's kind of okay, and one is just a dud. Those are like at least 3 options. And remember, I told you the 2 of Pentacles is a choice between 2 things, or deciding what to do next. So these two up here definitely are indicating things are up in the air. So whatever is assured, or what we sometimes believe is assured, or what we sometimes, again, associate the Sun card with being absolutely yes, yes, yes. No, because you have to consider everything else that's around it. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. You know, it's like that. The odds may or may not be in your favor. Okay? Now, that's what could be. That's what you're primarily dealing with. That's what you think about. That's what you're working on. Over here, I think you're there, but I think they might be there too, or it might just be the environment. Thank you. The environment that you're in, maybe. Which one? Okay. So the environment around you, or maybe an external vibe. What does that mean, an external vibe? How's that different than the environment? An external vibe, this might be like embodied by other people, right? Seven of Swords. Or this could be them in some cases. This could be the person that you're interested in. Seven of Swords. Now, this Seven of Swords, this whole deck, Santa Muerte deck, a lot of the images are like not like the traditional, and this is clearly not like the traditional. Because what I see is this person is either, what are they doing? Are they coming or going? They're prepared to go. Meaning, especially in work and the school thing, this person, maybe they're a visiting professor at your college or your university, or maybe you're due to graduate at the end of this semester, or at the end of the spring semester in 2020, whatever it is. There's something about it won't last. In the context that brings you two together, it won't last. It's short-lived, right? Because this character could be coming out of that coffin or could be going into it. And I asked, and they said going. So this person would be prepared to go into a coffin. What do you do when you go into a coffin? You're either dead or you're a vampire, and like you're just going to sleep. And I mean, this guy's dressed in PJ, so he's going to sleep. So it's like a temporary or some rest period away, right? So I feel if it is the other person, they might catch wind of what's going on with you in terms of like how much you want to work with them, how much you want to get to know them, and that might cause them to hightail it out of there, okay? Like I told you, it's like, maybe. Some of them might catch wind of that and they don't like it. Or they catch wind of it and they don't know what to do with that information. Because again, when you go into a coffin, what are you trying to do? You're trying to sleep the night away, or you're dead. So some of them are, if they catch wind of this, or if you eventually tell them not what you're doing, not about the dossier, but you tell them, I'm interested in you, I would like to work with you, I would like to date you, whatever, they might go, oh, that's nice, but I'm not interested. Other cases, it's a slipping away, or, you know, like a night's, like a sleepover, a night of sleeping, because they don't know what to do. Like, this person, for whatever reason, might be shy, okay? Or the energy between you is kind of awkward, okay? Like you both, like, this is just an example, because I'm not sure that this is actually a detail or actually a nuance or an actual detail of this situation. I think it's more of a, it energetically feels like it could be mutual, but it's still slightly different. So there's like a slight difference in this. They might feel the same way, but not be able to interact with you due to shyness, due to awkwardness, due to obligations, due to scheduling, due to whatever. So there's a chance that for some of you, a few of you, where they would feel very similar and be interested in you too, because if you look at the orientation of his eye line, he would be looking right back towards these two cards that we discussed previously. So he would be aware of, and I'm only saying he because it's a male figure. It doesn't have to be a male that's experiencing this or a male that you're interested in. But this person would be able to see the Sun card and the Page of Cups. But like I told you, I asked what's going on. Is this person coming up out of that coffin, or are they going away into it? And the guidance was they're going away into it. So they see, maybe, they see your intentions. Maybe they even reciprocate some of what you feel. But for whatever reason, they go away. Again, time, scheduling, maybe that's it. Maybe there's something about them just being socially awkward, or in terms of business and the school thing, it would be inappropriate. Fraternizing with students or fraternizing with coworkers. Maybe this is someone who is a higher up in your company, in your business, and for them to work with you would show favoritism, and they can't, as much as they would love to work with you on that project or would love to support you, if they threw their hat or they threw their support behind you, it would look as if they favored you, and they can't risk that. So whatever their reason is, some of them will step away. For how long? I don't know. Like I said, sometimes vampires just sleep in there. Other times it's for a corpse. So who knows if this person steps away, how long they'll be away, okay? Anything else with the Seven of Swords, please? Huh. Okay, I ignored that completely. So the words on the lid of the coffin, hope and reflection, hope and reflection. So it could be, like I said, some of them, they might feel the same way as you, but they don't know how to approach it or approach you or handle the situation entirely. So they need to reflect, okay? They might share the same hope that you do, that we could make a dynamic duo. We would be amazing if we, collaborated on this project. We would be amazing, or I would love to take you on as my TA, but, the budget doesn't allow, or the university doesn't even have TAs. We don't have assistants from students, blah, 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 whatever. They would love for that to happen. That's the hope. Or in the dating thing, they feel the same way about you. They think you're cute. They think you're awesome. Maybe they stalked you a little bit too, because the Seven of Swords can also be a sneaky card. As much as the Page of Swords can be a little sneaky, the Seven of Swords can also be sneaky, right? So maybe they've done a little research on you. Oh, I know you have a little cat named Bobo. As much as you know about Fifi, they might know about Bobo, okay? So, but there's something that keeps this person away. Obligation, duty, decorum of the, like I said, the environment around you or around them. Maybe the thing that I said earlier about, you see on their Facebook, they're from a religious background, and their family could be like, Orthodox Jews. And from what I understand about Orthodox Jews, many times you're not allowed to really date anybody who's not Jewish. And if you do, it's a big no-no, okay? So something like that. Or some of them are just like a straight up no, and they're like, no thank you, Aquarius. And they, for whatever reason, will sort of reject you, or kind of keep it professional with you, okay? Or keep it in the friend zone with you, okay? Now, that feels a combination of their own decision, or again, the environment around them that influences their decision. It could go either way, or maybe it's a combination of both. It's both what they feel, but then also kind of influenced on an influence on them. It could go either way. Now, that also, for both of you, you're definitely both here in this Five of Cups, because the Five of Cups, well, two things. This is giving me the traditional interpretation of this card, as well as what you can see there in the central part of the card, where you've got this mind maze, right? So traditionally speaking, the Five of Cups is about disappointment. It's about feeling that you've missed an opportunity, or an opportunity was taken away from you, or something that you used to have and possess and it made you happy is now gone, right? Often you'll hear people describe this Five of Cups, the traditional depiction, as crying over spilled milk and sort of not seeing the silver lining in a situation. And again, that might be here, considering it comes right above that Seven of Swords, which you know, maybe there's a chance that things would go in your favor. I don't know. The bigger part that they're drawing me to, again, is the mind maze, the maze inside the skull there, where despite all of your hopes and wishes and plotting and planning and all the things that you've prepared for, Aquarius, kind of all the energy that you put into this situation, you might still end up in a position feeling just as confused as you were, you know, weeks ago or months ago. You might not actually get a clear mind or a clear head about what is this between us, or what is this, why, you know, some of you might be very confused as to why you're doing this. You know, Aquarius is a fixed air sign, so you do have a certain amount of intelligence, and I'm putting intelligence in quotes because it's not to say all the other fixed signs or any sign that isn't an air sign isn't intelligent, but you're able to be objective most of the time. This is, even though there are this is the only cups card, this actually feels like you're in your feels a lot, Aquarius. Now, and that could be confusing for you. That might be why the only cup that came into your reading was the Five of Cups. I feel I feel you might do circles in this maze. You know, you definitely don't want to be stuck there. Who wants to be stuck in a maze? Nobody. So you don't want to be stuck, you know, ruminating in your mind, or being so fixated on this person, or being fixated on a particular outcome or a particular beginning or fertile ground to start a relationship on. Like Aquarius, you might literally know, I got bigger fish to fry in my life. You know, I got a full-time job. Or, you know, as much as I want to work with this person and collaborate with them, I also have to take care of my home and pay bills and do whatever else. You know what I mean? So there's this whole thing of being askewed, being kind of out of whack here, and not, as much as you've tried to get what you want, if you don't get what you want, you would most of the time, Aquarius, say, okay, I don't get what I want, drop it, move on to the next thing. But I feel, especially with that being a maze, and I said, who wants to be stuck in a maze? I feel that you'll continue to give into this situation, even if it proves to be fruitless, or it proves to be difficult, or it proves to be unfavorable in some type of way, right? They might also do that because, again, I told you, some of them, and I said it over here in the beginning, where even if on one hand they might be a little weirded out if you told them, I Googled you, you know, that's a polite way to say I've stalked the shit out of you, right? If you say to this person, I Googled you, I said in the beginning, this person might be flattered, or like, you just be like, oh, really? You know, but part of them is also kind of like, oh my God, you're a creep. Or, oh, I'm a little, I don't know about that. It's like both things at the same time. And I feel this is mutual. You both are, like I said, with the traditional understanding of the Five of Cups, crying over spilled milk, not necessarily letting it go, or feeling like there is something that could be here, but you can't put your finger on it, and you want to make amends, or you want to patch things up, or you want to get over the loss of something, whatever. But with that maze, you stay roaming around in the same general area, especially in your mind, ruminating, trying to think of how can I try it, you know, like plan B, plan C, plan D, E, F, G, you know? This is weird because, like, energetically it feels like there's no real malice here. You know, I think because of the environment around the pair of you, if not just one of you, is maybe cautious, or like I said earlier, for some of you, this is about trust. Those are like the big detractors, an issue of trust, environmental pressures, and the general creepiness of stalking another person, and, you know, even if it's super casual to do it because Google knows everything, you know, those are like the big detractors. When it comes down to you and them on a vibe, on an energy level, you really get along. You really, like this card depicts, see eye to eye. I don't believe in that each person holds the half of something. I don't believe that, but I'll say it because of, what's depicted there in the artwork with both of you being half of that butterfly. So you both complement each other. You work well together. You mesh well together energetically, or like these two show in the physical 3D world, you guys can make beautiful music together, whether that be in the romantic sector, or literally maybe you guys, could make literal music together. Maybe they're a drummer or an engineer and you're the musician. Whatever. You guys complement each other. You would really work well together. But I said the big detractors are someone has a trust issue here, somebody has environmental influence and decorum barking in their ear, sweating them. And number 3 is it might be kind of creepy to one or both of you to engage in stalking. Those are the detracting energies. That's why the sun is here, and I feel it's still positive, but like I said, maybe. Because these detracting energies are very strong, or at least very influential, has a lot of pull, has a lot of weight, has a lot of clout, okay? I think this is one of these situations where some part of the truth has to come out. And Seven of Swords can point to deception, can point to secret keeping. You or them, it could be either of you, or you might both be keeping secrets from each other, I think, and the sun is right there. The sun is right there. Okay, 1 second before we move on to the outcome, because they really are having me drag my feet on getting to the outcome. The sun exposes everything it's next to, right? It shines a light on everything. So as much as the Seven of Swords is a sneaky card, or a card about stepping away, or a card about, ducking into the shadows, once the sun comes out, they're really, the shadows are reduced. So if this person has to go away, the situation between you might benefit if the reasoning is very clear. It's not that I don't want to work with you. It's not that I don't want to mentor you. It's not that I don't want to date you. It's just because, I'm not allowed a TA. I can't, there's no budget here in the company for me to, for us to even get this project off the ground. Therefore, there's no way we could collaborate, or I can't date you because I come from a family of Orthodox Jews. And for right now, even though I'm an adult, I still kind of, follow the words of my parents. If that is expressed, I think it makes it easier. Same way up here. If you express to them, I would love to work with you. I would love to cement something with you, to plant something with you and nurture it to grow. I see the potential that you and I could do something together, and it would be positive, or that it would be, innovative, or whatever it is. If you tell them that, that might help you. If you tell them, again, I told you, some are going to be flattered. If you tell them, maybe not all of it, be careful, use discernment. But if you tell them, oh, you said, be clever, you're an Aquarius, okay? If you tell them, oh, you mentioned something in a conversation, and then I went and I Googled this, and then I found out about that. You have a way to kind of express to them, my interest in you was immediate. And it led me on this ravenous, well, maybe you don't want to use the word ravenous, but it led me down this pathway of wanting to know more and more about you. So maybe that's it. Instead of being, creepy McCreeperston and Googling them every day, maybe you say to them, listen, since we've met, I really have had such a huge interest in getting to know you. Do you think that we could, because I feel like for those where you're in conversation with them, and again, if you talk with this person at work or at school, it's very about school. It's about work. You want to know Fifi the dog. You want to know Fifi. You want to know more about them on a personal level. What makes them tick, right? So you might have to step over a line a little bit or toe the line in terms of like what's appropriate, okay? But again, it's always a possibility, and the sun will eventually expose all of that, I think, anyway, if you guys continue to communicate, if you continue to have some type of connection or relationship that you work towards. Interesting. Your outcome, Aquarius, for October is the Six of Wands. So here it is again. And what came out with it at the top? The Empress. Wow, the Empress. That is the Empress, not here, but I'm just going to talk about her really quickly. As a major arcana and an archetype, she's highly desirable. I say she only because it's an Empress. If this is a man that you're after, this applies to. But the Empress is very desirable, both in a romantic or sexual sense, or just in, like I've said this whole time, just in a sense of, I just want to know you. You would, very admirable, this person, or they get a lot of adoration. Yeah. So this person could be popular. Again, this was at the beginning. That was the only time this person or that card appeared. So in general, the person that you're after or the person that you're seeking might have other suitors, might have other people wanting to work with them. And so that could be part of the difficulty, that environmental difficulty, is that there might be competition on the field and you have to throw your hat in the ring somehow, right? Now, as an outcome, Six of Wands, which again was paired with the Empress at the beginning, typically shows success and victory. Statistically, guys, it cannot be all of you will see a victory or have success in this situation. But as an outcome, I think you at least get positive progression forward. Because look at the image here. It's like all of these characters are marching progressively towards the same direction, right? So there's progression here at the very least. If it's not straight up success or victory, you move the sticks, okay? You're closer to getting that first down. You're closer to getting that touchdown, okay? And this is a procession, right? Procession. What about it? You might... Oh! I did say something about some of you, like, going to a party or a festival. Guys, girls, go to a festival with this person if you can. If something comes up, fall is happening up here in the northern hemisphere. You got all these fall festivals, these beer fests, these cider fests, these what do you call it? Oktoberfest, right? Coming up. Concerts, anything, really. If you have a chance to socially engage with this person outside of work, outside of school, on an actual, maybe not an actual date, because I said some of you haven't dated this person, like maybe you've never met them. I don't know. But something where you can be engaged with each other, but out in public, like a big public setting, not a date. Or not like, I want to take my professor out for coffee. That's too intimate. Take hey, there's a movie festival or a literary, something that you both can mutually agree upon and mutually would enjoy. Go there with this person. Maybe that will help you. Maybe that is the route towards success or victory. I don't know. And suddenly they're like, a march. Okay, if you guys are both like political activists, go to a march together. Okay, they're like, march, okay. Overall energy for you, Aquarius, is Major Arcana, the High Priestess. This is secondary Major Arcana for Cancer. Some of you might be dealing with a Cancer. Sometimes this is also associated with Pisces, so you might be dealing with a Pisces, but I normally say Cancer because this card is associated with the Moon, and the Moon is the ruler of Cancer. Now, as an overall energy, this is kind of weird because, like I said, Aquarius, you've spent a lot of energy being grounded. We have a lot of earth energy here with these two pentacles. We have physical or what do you call that? Biology, like with the sun beaming down on this plant type scene. It's like Everything is grounded. Everything is earth-based. The High Priestess is not earth-based. The High Priestess lives in the ether. Sits on the veil that separates our world from all the others, right? From the outer world, the underworld, all the worlds. You know, she's a great gatekeeper, yeah? I don't know really how she factors in for you, because I think you are very grounded. You're trying your best, like I said earlier, not to have your head up in the clouds, not to get too far ahead of yourself. You're really reeling yourself in, or you're keeping the reins tight on yourself. Maybe this is coming up for you to indicate that you're giving me like the word trust. Did I mention trust earlier? I did, but in the context of maybe some of you have trust issues. Is that what the trust is about? Trust issues? Maybe. For some of you, that's what it is. Your trust issues might be sort of unfounded, or will prove to be kind of silly. Okay? This High Priestess she's got your back. I don't feel, Aquarius, in any of your cases, I will say this, even if you lose, quote unquote lose, or you don't get what you want, I feel this High Priestess is protecting you. This could be an entity or a spirit or an angel, guide, whatever, that works for you, that has your best interest at heart, even if you don't know them. And what I feel here about the trust thing, going back to that, is she knows why you are distrusting, but she doesn't want you to continue to distrust. She kind of wants you to fall into faith. Wow, fall into faith. And fall, it's the fall season. So fall into faith. And that's the other thing about the High Priestess. She doesn't give a shit about like the little victories or the little hopes and the dreams that we have here on Earth, because again, her interest is in our best interest, our highest good. So I say that to mean for those where you get the person, you get to build a relationship, you get to collaborate, you get to go on a date, whatever it is, that works. That's your path. The Aquarius next to you might not get that same path, and both of the outcomes are correct, because the High Priestess is interested in your highest good. What works for your spiritual development, what works for you in the long run in terms of enriching your soul, that's what she does. That's what she's here for. And again, I feel many of you Aquariuses are not even thinking in these terms, but here she is. Whether you realize that she exists or not, whether you believe she exists or not, here she is. Definitely geared towards you. Maybe a little bit for the other person, maybe for the person who feels restricted by their home life or their profession. Maybe they need to fall into faith too. But since you're the person I read for, that's who I'm going to pin that on, okay? Aquarius. Oh, I've talked so much. That is your reading for October 2019. If you liked it, if you got something from it, go ahead and hit the like button for me. If it resonated, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Share the video across your social media platforms if you want to help a girl out. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed. We have had incredible gains on the channel in terms of subscribers. It's been amazing, and I would love to see that trend continue. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the button. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can stay on top of when I actually do uploads to the channel, okay? Aquarius, I'll be back soon to do your mid-October readings. You'll see that come up on the channel if you're subscribed, or maybe you'll find me again somewhere through the piles and piles of YouTube tarot readers. So you'll see that come up in about 2-3 weeks. You'll also see me go live around then for Libra, for their birthday period live reading that I do. I started doing that with Leo this year, so eventually it'll be your turn. That'll be like in January, won't it? Yeah, January. Yep, January. Or February. February. I can't think of it. Anyway, so that'll be for Libra. If you want to come and hang out, feel free. If you just want to eavesdrop, feel free. But as far as like actually interacting and getting cards read, it is strictly for Libras, okay? So I just want people to be aware before they show up and they ask me a question, and I'll be like, are you a Libra though? And they're like, no, I'm a Scorpio. Sorry, not your month. Anyway, so again, Aquarius, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.